Hey there kids, it's me, MrCreepyPasta, and before we get started on tonight's story, I want to let you know that this is in collaboration with Autumn Ivy and Little Ball of Giggles. If you want to see what happened before this, or what happens afterward, check out the channels linked in the description down below, or you can always find the video that comes before this one on my channel. And now, on to tonight's story. I returned to my hotel room and ordered room service. Learned a valuable lesson that day. Room service is expensive. I felt bad enjoying the rest of the night in comfort while Anna and May were stuck in the back rooms, but I knew they'd be there tomorrow. I mean, it was a controlled space after all. Honestly, I was kind of jealous. If it were me instead, at least I could go find where the posters were. I know Anna didn't want to go back, and I know for certain she's not having the best time right now, and that she'll want to leave the second the threshold opens tomorrow. But May's with her, and as long as May calms her down and keeps her distracted, I can go get my poster. That night, I dreamt of the back rooms as if I were in my friend's shoes, wandering around, seeing horrors and wonders alike. Makes me even more excited when I woke up. I threw on my Ghostbusters cosplay. I headed on over to the small building, once again with an impossibly huge line behind it. Shoot. Forgot about the line. Anna was going to kill me for sure. She had to spend all night in the back rooms, and now she had to wait for me while I was stuck in line. Oh, wait a minute. Behemacon was open. The threshold was open. She could have left if she wanted to, right? And she would have called me when she was out. What the hell? She wasn't stuck in the back rooms anymore. No, she was probably having tons of fun at Behemacon with May now that more people were there. There I was, kinda worried about them, and they hadn't so much as exited the threshold just to call me and let me know everything was okay. I bet they did it out of spite. Oh, fine then. I was going to pass through the threshold and give them the cold shoulder once I saw them. I was so busy envisioning my revenge plan that the line seemed to go by in a flash, and suddenly I was standing right before the threshold. It did seem weird, I thought. That security guards or whatever didn't check people in or out, and no one looked worried about two missing girls from yesterday. It's like no one remembered them. Oh, there I go again. Anna's anxiety must be rubbing off on me. I'm sure it was all fine, I told myself over and over again. But I was going to see them inside. And if they gave me crap about getting to be at Behemacon overnight, I was going to rub in their faces how good the room service was yesterday. I stepped through, and it was just as thrilling as the first time, though I was met with the initial boring sight of a large liminal space with small handfuls of people here and there. Being in the back rooms was something I'd have to document extensively. I mean, I could just imagine myself as a grandfather telling the little ones, back in my day, we didn't live in the back rooms just yet, but I sure visited it. The tall ceiling stretched on forever. I noticed a series of square holes in the walls that hadn't been there yesterday. But I didn't see May or Anna in the main rooms. So I went to the restaurant that we'd gone to yesterday. Around lunchtime, I mean, it was a familiar place to them, so I figured I'd have a good shot at seeing them there. But I didn't see them. They were probably in a panel or an artist's alley. I checked artists next. It's crowded, I mean, even for the back rooms. I ran up and down the aisles, but they weren't there. Then I thought, no biggie. I mean, I'll wait for them near the weird staircase to see if they leave a panel or something. And I waited for a couple of hours. Still no sign of him. I eventually took to asking passersby if they'd seen two girls, one dressed as Heather from Silent Hill and the other as Alice. No one's seen them. It was then that I started to worry. One of the people I'd stopped to ask recognized me from yesterday. It was the man who'd heard of someone in Dealer's Hall selling posters. He told me the booth was open and that I should hurry and get my poster before they sell out or something. Dealer's Hall. I mean, I hadn't checked there. I quickly thanked him, booked it past the weird construction signs and random kitchen appliances on the floor to the Dealer's Hall. I scanned up and down the aisles and thought about Artist Alley again. I mean, between these two areas alone, they could potentially be going back and forth. Though we'd spent most of our time in Artist Alley yesterday, so, I mean, it would make sense for them to stay here and search and wait. I wandered down the lines of booths, selling wares, interesting pieces, though now I was overwhelmed worrying about my friends. I knew the location was safe, but now I was just worried that I'd traumatized a friend or severed our relationship. I mean, maybe they'd actually left me here by myself, got an Uber home without telling me. I texted them, but As I wasn't too sure if that sort of thing worked in the Backrooms, I never got a response. As I was lost in thought, my feet trotted onwards, and at some point, my eyes focused on one particular booth that had posters hanging from everywhere. I noticed that some of them even were posters of the Backrooms. I'm forgetting myself. I was elated. "Ask me anything," the vendor said. "You got posters of the Backrooms?" I asked. "It seems to look that way, yeah." He came off cold, but eccentric. It was then I noticed not many other congoers were congregated over here. The man must not at all be too pleasant, but who knows. I was so excited to have something to remember Behemacon by. I kept looking at all the posters behind him. "Did you draw each one, or are some of them photographs?" I asked him, as some of them looked insanely realistic. You could say that. They're depictions of the backroom, past, present, future." "All right, I'll take the best depictions of the Backrooms, please." "All right, that's $2,000. $2,000? Oh, kiddo, it's the Backrooms' first convention. This is exclusive Behemacon merch." I wanted a poster, but I didn't want it that bad. I wanted to barter, but given how cold he was to me, I bid him good day and walked off. But don't you worry. I was determined to get my poster. I stayed back and I eyed the man. At some point, he got up to presumably use the restroom, and as soon as he was out of sight, I snatched up a poster, and no one was the wiser. I shuffled off, even feigning putting my wallet away, and was home free. It would have been nicer if I had my friends with me to gawk at my collection's new addition. When I looked closer in the picture, I couldn't quite tell what I was looking at in the Backrooms. It was dark and beautiful, but grotesque, distorted in some way, and intriguing to look at. But in the foreground, I could see something small. Something that didn't quite fit. I didn't know what to think. It felt familiar somehow. Standing over what looked like blue and white linens was a small white swan in the woods. Only its eyes seemed human and familiar at that. A deep, dark brown pleading out to me. Times have been tough for me, so I haven't quite updated everything as I would have liked in the past couple of months. I'm finally getting back to the swing of things as my life continues to normalize. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me, and honestly, I see all of your comments and your support as I've been talking about what's been happening with me, and I want to tell you all thank you so much for that, because it's been rough, and seeing your support has been life-saving. So thank you all so much for it. And as always, I want to give a big thank you to everybody who supports me on Patreon. That includes everybody who's been waiting for me to update my Patreon, and I thank you all so much for being so patient with me. But especially, I want to give a thank you to Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Jakob Fenske, Stephanie Butler, Bobby Karman, Chance Burnett, Kraus, Tristain Pelton, AcidSystem, Adam Gerecke, Aeryn Stormcrow, Aika Limchoc, Amber Clark, Angelus, Atomaurus, Bastion Beefcake, Blue the Enigma, Brayden Morris, Broken Beast 320, Captain Scurvy, Caspian, Shelly J, Corey Kenshin, Cronut 509, Crusader Chocobo, Cryptic Nightmares, Curse Pox Primarch, Dakota Lane Whetstone, Daniel Paulson, Darth Miver, deleted account, Dirt Diver 030, M, Esteban, Fester's Lampshade, Freddy Krueger, Gorag Trimagacy, Grand Moth the Milky, Hades Nephew, Happy Birthday Jason Wilson, Harley, Himbo Jerry, Horseman Sect Time, Insanity Gamer X, Jay Cairns, Jesus Cornell, Jordan Humble, Justin LaFontaine, Kaylee Ambrose, Kiwi the Sloth, Crazy Kid, Cryolinian, Lambda M98, Lisa Cottrell, Little Crow, Lord Life's Best, Lupita Galvin, Love You Eminem, Matt Bach, Melted Lake, Michael Allen Jr. Brashears, Mike, Mr. Marcus Blitz, Nate Cull, Nico Kaio, Psychomel, Red Shadow Cat, Rob Like Sharp Things, Sama High, Sashi Suzaku, Seclude, Stricken, Tali Sue, Tater Chip, That Creepy Chick, The Ginger Bros, Turtle Man, Voice of Sand, William King, Xavier and Cheyenne, Yargul, and Zachary Graphius. If you would like to join this list of names that I horribly mispronounce, then please head over to patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta, or you can always check out the names in the description down below, and I appreciate it infinitely. So thank you all on Patreon, thank you all so much, and to everyone, sweet dreams.